your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
A painting across the sky on our Roofing Dog INET Flooring America camera in Danville as the sun sets. Just a beautiful shot there. A little bit of high-level cloud cover that has moved in here this evening, and you can see that on the satellite picture here. Clouds moving in here from the south. Shouldn't bring us a whole lot of issues as far as sunshine for tomorrow, but we are seeing those temperatures starting to come down. 41 now in Champaign, holding on to a strong 48 in Springfield. Here's your evening planner. A live look along Neal Street as temperatures fall back down to the mid-30s by 11 o'clock. More nice weather this week, but there is one little small hiccup. We'll talk about when the temperatures take a little bit of a dive when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Tonight, we're learning more about the 3 people killed in a plane crash in central Illinois.
It's about 65,000 pounds. There's 20,000 in the drum.
Plus, it wasn't the job they planned for. What happened after a cement truck rolled over?
I personally don't think that it's necessary you have to wear a mask.
There's a lot of talk about coronavirus, especially on social media. What's fact and what's fiction?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
3 men died in a plane crash in Logan County, and we now know their names. We're also hearing from one of the families in Urbana. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. Jennifer's on assignment. The FAA is still investigating what caused this plane crash. It happened yesterday on I-55 near Lincoln. The plane burst into flames. The victims are 22-year-old Mitchell Jansen of Princeville, 33-year-old Matthew Hansen of Pulaski, Wisconsin, and 30-year-old Kevin Chapman of Urbana. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is in our newsroom. Jennifer, Chapman's family shared some information with you today.
Jessica had talked to his parents and older brother on the phone today, and while they didn't want to be interviewed on camera, they did share a statement saying, quote, Kevin had a wonderfully absurd sense of humor. He was very caring. The world is worse off without him. He will be deeply missed, end quote. Chapman moved to Urbana in 2002 with his parents. He was a graduate of Urbana High School in 2008, and he graduated college from Southern Illinois University. He went on to get a master's degree from Utah State and became an environmental biologist. He and Matthew Hansen were the passengers on that plane. Jansen was the pilot. The Chapman family would not say why Kevin Chapman was on that flight that day. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. Tonight, we're also learning more about the plane itself. It took off from Central Illinois Regional Airport. It's pictured on the Facebook page for Synergy Flight Center in Bloomington. Synergy offers charter services, maintenance, and flight training. The pilot of that flight, Mitchell Jansen, as you heard, completed his first solo flight in the Cessna that crashed yesterday on July 18th, 2014. We did reach out to Synergy for comment, but we have not heard back. An intersection is back open tonight after a cement truck rollover this morning in Champaign. Police say the truck tipped over while turning at the intersection of Kirby and 4th just before 9. Crews tried for hours to right the truck. Obviously, some attempts failed there. The driver is okay and no one else was hurt, but the truck was fully loaded when it tipped.
With the truck and the concrete that's in the drum, it's about 65,000 pounds. There's 20,000 in the drum. The way I understand it, the load shifted on the guy and he went over.
Crews finally got the cement truck on its wheels, but the cement had hardened. The drum had to be taken off the truck and put on a semi-trailer to be taken away. It can be hard to go anywhere without hearing something about coronavirus.
Yeah, that's right. With its spread, it is easy for the wrong information to be shared. So we asked an expert for the facts to separate that from fiction. We're joined by WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting. So, Courtney, it can be easy to get lost in all of this information, misinformation.
Yeah, definitely, Paul. It can seem also really overwhelming, especially with information coming from what seems like every direction. So I decided to ask some of you what you know and where you're hearing it. We took that information to an expert.
You're always going to have a few weird people, I suppose, that have got these strange thoughts and feelings.
Mary Best is like many of you. She's heard a lot of talk about the novel coronavirus. But how does a person distinguish fact from fiction? We went out and talked to people in central Illinois. One of the things a lot of people are talking about, surgical masks.
I personally don't think that it's necessary you have to wear a mask. I think you just have to take safety first.
But how effective are they really? An infection preventionist from Carl says you should really only wear one if you have symptoms. One solution many are flocking to is hand sanitizer. Experts say that's a great tool.
I've been out and bought hand sanitizer, which has been out of stock in a lot of places, and Clorox wipes.
But your number one fighter is washing your hands and doing it for long enough to be effective.
I've sort of listened to the general requirements like on the CDC about basically washing your hands for at least 2 happy birthdays.
I kept seeing several different sources saying that washing your hands is actually better than wearing the masks.
Something else that can be confusing is how serious coronavirus is. The truth is, about 80% of cases are mild. There are no cases of the virus in Champaign County, but it's still important that everyone plays a role in prevention.
Hopefully we're going to be safe and we're going to be prepared for it if it does happen to become a pandemic.
Another myth about the virus is that kids can't get it. They can, but experts say there have been fewer cases involving children. Paul.
Yeah, there certainly have, and of course, that's a good thing. All right, Courtney, thanks. Well, some have also asked about whether you can be infected by something you get in the mail. Experts say the virus cannot survive on surfaces for very long, and they aren't concerned about a risk related to mail at this point. Now, with the threat of the flu and coronavirus, the Catholic Diocese of Peoria is suspending communion from the chalice during services. Bishop Daniel Jenke says the alcohol content of the wine should eliminate any dangers, but, quote, it still seems wise to take this precaution. It's unknown how long the suspension will last. Bishop Jenke also says the kiss of peace should be expressed with a smile or a wave rather than a handshake or hug.
A Hoopeston man was found guilty of aggravated battery after he threatened a neighbor. Gary Johnson's neighbor came downstairs to borrow a cup of sugar. Johnson's brother led her into the house. Johnson himself was passed out drunk in a living room chair. He woke up, knocked the cup of sugar out of his neighbor's hands, then exposed himself and threatened to sexually assault her. Johnson then slashed her with a pair of scissors. When police showed up, they found him passed out in the same chair and arrested him. Johnson will be sentenced next month. We have an update to a school threat we told you about last night. A Decatur teenager was arrested for threatening Eisenhower High School. 18-year-old Casey Garner is facing felony charges for disorderly conduct and giving a false alarm of a bomb threat. Police say she made the threat on social media after being removed from the school because of a fight. School was still in session today.
Some across the state have been waiting for months for their FOID card renewals. Major delays with the state police are causing backlogs. House Republicans announced several measures to try and prevent these problems in the future. Even though people won't be in trouble for having guns with the delayed renewal, they can have trouble purchasing them.
I hope their interest is in making sure that law-abiding citizens are not running afoul of the law inadvertently. My belief is we should be protecting people's constitutional rights and not putting undue burdens on them for exercising those rights, and that's currently what is happening.
State police are in charge of renewing the cards. They said in a statement, quote, ISP needs the help of the legislature to streamline and improve the FOID and CCL process and welcomes the chance to work with Representative Windhorst and others to shorten and standardize appeals, consolidate FOID and CCL functions, and reduce costs.
The Big Ten tournament is here for the Illini women, whether their season is moving on.
Also tonight.
If it fails, what I hope is that someone else will come along with another idea and keep trying.
The quest for a new U of I mascot continues. What students voted on today.
It was a nice day today, but boy, a lot can change in a year. 1 year ago today, it was -3 outside. Ugh, yeah, a nice 15-degree difference there. We've got more nice weather. Nothing below 0 coming our way. We'll talk about sunshine, a little bit of rain in the forecast coming up.